Stop squeezing your shoulder blades down and back. This cue is commonly given in the fitness industry. It's commonly given even in the rehab industry. Typically, it's given to treat two different types of populations. One is somebody with some sort of postural deficit. They feel like their shoulders are rounded forwards. They say, okay, just pull your shoulder blades down and back. Let's train that a ton and you should get better. And those people typically don't get better with that cue or that kind of training. And second is commonly given in the fitness industry for some sort of sense or to try to improve shoulder blade stability. And today we're going to go over why that's probably one of the worst cues to give either population. First, we need to understand why somebody's shoulders round forward to begin with. Take a look at Sophie here. We can kind of see that just in her resting position, you can kind of see those shoulders round a bit forward. So what's actually happening? We have a rib cage that's meant to have a little rounding through that thoracic spine. And it's meant for a sternum right here to kind of be stacked over this pelvis right here. And that allows this concave shoulder blade to rest nicely on a convex structure that is your rib cage. So when we end up having too much compression from the front, it can start to draw that shoulder down and forward. So really the issue is not that things in the back here are too weak and we need to pull it back. The issue is I cannot get enough air here to decompress the front side of my rib cage so that my shoulder can start to sit back where it belongs. What happens when you have somebody like this, where their issue is actually too much compression here in the front of the rib cage, they can't get air there, and now you tell them squeeze your shoulder blades down and back. So actually when we watch her, if we say squeeze your shoulder blades down and back, you can see how this actually just shoves her sternum further forward in space and actually hyperextends her thoracic spine. Again, in talking about postural dynamics, if I am already compressed here on this front side, but when I pull the shoulder blades down and back, I'm actually more compressing now from the back side. I'm just adding more compression from both sides on this rib cage, and I'm not improving any posture whatsoever. In fact, I'm just creating more compensatory pattern. Even in the case of shoulder blade stability, this concave structure needs to rest on a convex structure, and this is how they operate. Most joints in our body operate. One side has a convex structure, or the other side has a concave structure, and that's how they move on each other. So if I start to pull the shoulder blades down and back and I start to hyperextend this thoracic spine, I'm bringing this convex structure into more of a concave structure, and this concave structure on a concave structure doesn't work very well. So in fact, giving that cue for people to think that you're improving their shoulder blade stability is actually making things worse. Before you start cueing somebody to pull their shoulder blades down and back, make sure you understand the relationship of internal pressure management and the shape of a thorax and its relationship to shoulder blade and shoulder health and shoulder function, because sometimes when a rib cage or a sternum is stacked over a pelvis appropriately and we do have a nice convex structure of that rib cage, then we can tell somebody to pull their shoulder blades down and back so that they can feel the shoulder blades glide on a thorax that is in the position that is necessary for function. If we don't have those prerequisites, just telling somebody to pull their shoulder blades down and back is typically going to do more harm than good.